Okay, so tonight, hey everyone, welcome to Huddle. It is the 24th of March 2021. Tonight, I just want to talk about your challenges and help you with what's your biggest issues going on. So, getting people over the freaking line, following up and getting the close, getting people to say yes, getting someone on board, consistency. Okay, so it sounds to me like 4 of you there are saying pretty much the same thing. So when you guys say getting people on board or getting people over the line, are you talking about customers or team?
I'm talking about both.
Okay. I'm just going to go to gallery view because it's easier.
Yeah, I'm just customers.
Yep, customers for you, Carrie. Okay. What about for you, Karina? Oh, both. Okay. Inconsistency, Megan. Okay. So I'm just going to cover for just for a moment, I'm going to cover consistency because it's really cool that you brought that up, Megan, because I was actually going to talk a little bit around that tonight, ways to make it easier. So I guess I just want to ask you a question. You might want to come off mute, but I just want to ask you a question around that. So what is your biggest challenge around consistency?
Ideas, I guess, knowing what to post, because I know it's meant to be kind of a daily thing, and even stories and posting ideas, doing it daily.
Okay, so it's not to do with not having the time or no. Okay,
No.
It's not that there's a lack of motivation. It's just
maybe a bit of that.
Okay.
I'm not sure where that comes from though.
Yeah. So do you feel like it's a little bit of procrastination maybe?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So because what I'm hearing, so often when people are saying they're not consistent or they don't really have the motivation to do it, it's because there's a fear around it. And there's a fear around the fear it can be different things for different people, but generally it is that there is procrastination of some kind, and that's always based on fear. So there's something there that's kind of stopping you from posting. And often when we and it might be that you need ideas, but that's just something that kind of you're using almost as a justification for, okay, well, I'm feeling this fear, so I'm just going to say that and I'm not saying that you're just putting an excuse on it, but that's kind of something that we like to do. It's a human brain thing, right? So thinking about getting a little bit deeper, because the posting ideas and things we've got covered, because there is the guides in Team Love. There's the second guide, or the second unit will give you all of those answers. There's also the post ideas and it's for the Soul Project. And there is also a chat group that we have. I don't know if you're part of that, Megan.
Sorry, can you start again, repeat those? So obviously the units, which has now changed names, but
yeah, it's the guides. And then there is the post ideas for the Soul Project group on Facebook.
And you mentioned a group
and there is a chat group. So are you in the chat group? Stories and post ideas or something, I think. Does anyone know what it's called?
Yes, I'm a part of that group.
You're a part of that. Okay. So there's some really good story ideas in there. Now, one of the things that we do, if we are, if we have a little bit of fear around kind of putting ourselves out there, or whatever the fear, wherever it comes from, is we tend to kind of focus on doing things, like doing creative things and doing things that kind of distract us from actually doing the things that pay us. So if you are aware of that, and you can kind of stop yourself and say, hang on a moment, what am I afraid of right now? What do you think would be your biggest fear?
I don't know, because when I did a cleanse, the cleanse that I did, I was posting daily and I felt fine with it.
Were you posting about the program or you posting about the cleanse?
It was mainly about the cleanse, I guess.
So when you post about the program, is it hard for you? Does it bring up feelings of fear?
No, I do slide it in there a little bit, but probably not daily.
Okay. So I think a really good way it's great. So obviously you've overcome some, because I know when you first started, it was quite big for you, eh? So you've come a long way.
Yeah.
But what I would do would probably really help you is just keep posting. And even though you feel that fear, it's okay. I feel safe. I'm helping people. Think about how to get yourself out of yourself. Think about the other person, and you might attract someone who's really wanting this right now. So what you're putting out there might be just the thing that they need to change their health in that moment. So if you can take yourself out of yourself and your own fear and think about that other person, and just keep doing it anyway. Does that help?
It does. And I know you've had a busy day, but I've messaged you today, and I've
I haven't got to my messages, Megan.
I know,
sorry.
I know that, and that's fine. Yeah, I know you've had a busy day. I'd like to work with you more with it on this.
Yeah, okay, that's fine, honey. We'll do that. I'll get back to you. I'll go through them later when I'm finished. Promise. Anyone who's messaged me, I'm really sorry if I haven't got back to you. It's been crazy. Okay, so let's talk about the other ones that have come up, and that's getting someone on board, getting people to say yes, following up and getting the close, getting people over the freaking line. Okay. Anything else there? Add mental days. Okay. Okay, so all of you who have put those in the chat there that this is an issue for you or a real challenge for you, tell me what is the biggest challenge in that area for you? So what is it that you feel is the hardest thing for you? You can come off mute if you want to, if it's easier.
What do you mean the hardest thing?
I find the hardest thing when I have price objections.
Okay. So what do you think the block is? That's what I mean, Carrie. What do you think the block is for you?
Probably, I don't know, money and now doctors. If you read
Okay.
the thing that I sent you, when you read that.
Okay. Okay. Karina?
I guess mine is I'll send an invite or and I'll follow up and not get a response. And then I feel like I'm bugging them, so I tend to just not go back,
Bugging them. Okay, great. Good one. I love that, Karina. Great insight there. Okay, Michelle?
I think mine probably more like Sarah's, like kind of like the price situation. So I guess, but it's more probably like able to express in a way where the value of being on the program or the products kind of outweighs it, because I think I've had people kind of come back and say like, oh, maybe I'll just go try something else first, and and then maybe think about this for another time, thank you, or trying to find ways to make it, because I think if it's budget wise or things like that. And so I think I need to kind of like find a way to maybe express it at the start or something, so I'm not kind of going through all these different kind of conversations and more conversations that end up to like a no.
Okay, so there's a number of reasons why why people don't go over the, why you can't actually get people over the line. One of the things is, we had a really good training today with Richard Bliss Brooks, and one of the things he talks about, and I totally 100% agree with him, is we have got to be really authentic. So we cannot say the wrong thing to the right person, right? You cannot say the wrong, it doesn't matter what you say, you can't say the wrong thing. So at the end of the day, you've got to be yourself and you've got to share your own experience. That is the most important thing for because other people want to see that you're real. And when you share, how it's helping you and how it's made you feel, and you be completely honest and transparent with them about it, then they're going to appreciate that and they're more likely to want to actually, give it a go. When you get price objections, that's simply because you're either, obviously some people are genuinely not going to be able to afford it. Also, a lot of people have money stories. But the biggest reason why you get people objecting about the price is because they don't have enough investment in the actual program. So, and Michelle touched on this just before. So they need to know the value of what they're going to get from the program and the products before you can even talk about price. So there's certain things that we can say that's going to give them what the price is without actually saying what the price is, so that we know that they know what the benefit is before we talk about the price. Now, we can talk about specifics, but a lot of the time, what I like to say is, look, we have different packages depending on what your needs are and what your budget looks like. Prices start from about $11 a week. But to find the right package for you, the best thing for us to do is to actually let's have a chat, because it's much easier to find out what would be the best option for you here. And then I can explain the program to you as well. So getting them on a call is really, really, really important. And, for me, it's worked for me like a charm. All of the customers that I've had, that's what I've done, is I've got them on a call. And what that does is it gives them a chance to talk about what's going on for them, to talk about their health. Doing it on Messenger, some people are not going to want to get on a call, and that's okay. But what's worked for me is as soon as you get them on a call, that if they jump on a call, it's because they're ready. They're ready and they want it. So 9 times out of 10, someone who jumps on a call is going to actually order from you. And when you get them on the call, you can start asking them about themselves. Okay, tell me about your health. What does it look like? What are your health goals? What does your lifestyle look like? What kind of, food are you eating? How often do you eat? Do you exercise? What's the stress like in your life? Do you have a high stress job? Or, so get them talking. The more they talk, the more they not only are building that rapport with you and that trust with you, but they also feel like you really care for them. And they really do feel like you are listening to them, and you will know what is really good for their health right now. And then once they've finished talking, then you can say, well, and the whole idea of them talking too is that so you can take notes around what is the best for their needs. And then of course you can go to this is the best option for you right now. Now, the price doesn't need to come up until the end. And that's usually when I'll say to them, do you have any questions? And most of them will say, yep, how much is it? And usually what I say then is I say, well, this one that I've recommended is this much a month. Is that doable for you? And if they say, oh, yeah, I can do that, that's fine, then that's great. But if they say, oh, look, I can't afford that, then you can go back down and kind of, like if you've recommended premiums, go down to the fruit and veg. But look at what their needs are. So if they've got a child who's sick and they want to get it free, let them know, look, the fruit and veg is the cheapest option if you want to get the free product for your child. So most of the time, there shouldn't be really any kind of exchange of prices over Messenger. It just makes it really, really, really difficult for you, because they see the price, there's no investment, they go, that's too expensive, I can't afford that. And their health flies out the window. They're like, well, that's not a priority for me, because I actually don't know how that's going to help me. And to let them know how that's going to help them is we're really authentic and really vulnerable with them, and we share how it's helping you. Now, if you can't relate to their story, then you can share someone else's story. So you share, one of your customers. You don't say their name, we don't need to share names. We can just say, look, I've got a customer that's got this and it's really helped them. or you can share one of your team members. You know, I'm more than happy for anyone to share my story if you want to. So there is, sorry, I'm just checking the chat because I think there's, yeah. What if they ask the price straight off, Sarah? Okay, so what you do, honey, is you say, look, you know, we have different packages depending on your health needs and your budget. Prices start from about $11. But again, the best way that we can find out what's right for you is let's have a chat. And then it's way easier for me to be able to recommend something to see if it's going to fit into your life. So make it about them, make it all about them. We want to find the right package for them that's going to fit in their life, that's going to suit their health and fit into their budget. We want them to know that you really care and you're really going to go out of your way to find something that's going to work for them. And so, you know, and one of the things, and I know when you first start, like, you know, Carrie and Michelle and, you know, Isha, when you first start, it's really difficult to you know, you don't know what to say. And so you're reaching out to your upline and you're saying, what do I say here? And that's okay because the verbiage is good. But what is really important is that you bring your story into it. You bring your benefits that you've noticed into it. Make sure you're using those. Say, look, oh my God, this has been amazing for me. I totally relate to you. You know, this has really helped my sleep. I'm sleeping so much better now. And just be really authentic with it. You know, if it's not helping your sleep, don't say that, but just say, we've got customers that this has really helped my sleep. I was a shocking sleeper. I didn't sleep well at all. And I sleep like a baby every night. So, you know, take someone else's story. The other thing is the most powerful tool we've got is we've got the testimonial group. Don't be afraid to invite people into the testimonial group. It's an amazing tool and it's got lots of stories in there, and then just let them search it. You can even search things yourself and then tag them in it so that they can see it. So, wondering that when I start face-to-face conversations, I might be rushing into things. Well, just build conversations, build relationships, Kat. That's the most important thing that you can do. That's really what we start with. I mean, if you're rushing into, do you want to buy my Juice Plus, and you don't really know them, then they're going to go, hold on a minute, I don't even know who you are. So it's going to scare them off a little bit. But when you're actually, you know, do what you would normally do when you meet someone new, you know, you'd ask about them and find common ground with them. That's the most important thing when you meet someone anyway. And you're doing the same thing with this. You're just meeting someone, you're learning about them, and you're finding out what you have in common. And when you learn about them, you learn about their pain. It's the same as what you would be doing on Messenger, learning about their pain. And, you know, often you meet people or you talk to people over Messenger and you can't, and there's no kind of there's nothing that stands out for you that we can help them in any way. And that's okay because we can't help everybody. Okay, retail background head. Yes, Sarah. So I think the most important thing here, honey, is don't make it about the sale and just make it about the connection. So don't get too caught up in the outcome because, and it's totally, you know, I did it all the time when I first started. It's normal when you first start because you're like, I've got this promotion, I really want it, right? So we kind of get into the space, and this is a really important one, guys. So if you're really close to a promotion and you really, really want it, we can push it so much, we can be so desperate for it that it can actually block us from it coming to us. So what I want you to do is step out of that outcome, step out of the desperation and just go, okay, I have complete faith that this is going to happen. I don't know how, but it's going to happen. And then just do what it is that you can do to make it happen. So if you are posting on your stories or you're posting on your Facebook and you're being really vulnerable, it's another thing I want to talk about. Really important that you're vulnerable as you can be, that you are sharing your story. Don't be afraid to share your own story because that is really powerful. That's how people are drawn to you. That's how you attract people to you and to what you're doing. Because the people out there who are ready for this and who need this, they're there and they're waiting for your post. They're waiting for your message. They're just waiting for you. They don't know it, but they are, right? So I would, I've lost it, completely lost my train of thought now. Oh yes, so you know, if you're posting and then if you're starting new conversations with people, you're adding new friends to your Facebook, and you are inviting people to have a look. So I would definitely recommend inviting at least one invite, sending out one invite every day. Then you are doing everything that you can do. And so, you know, it's really, really good to step back from kind of pushing it and forcing it to make it happen, because I'm a great believer in miracles. Miracles do happen. I'll tell you what, that's how we got to Q in December. It was an absolute miracle that got us there. So miracles happen in the last moment, and it can happen. So if you believe in that and you're doing everything else, then it'll all just fall into place. Also getting them on the team, Michelle. Okay, so you're having trouble with that, honey. Tell me about that. Do you want to come off mute?
Well, I've only just started in this area, so it might be kind of like, how do I get them straight away? But no, I don't know. Well, I've just kind of like, I did kind of a bit of a list of who I thought from like knowing them on Facebook or personally that it could be something for them, like not in work or at home with their kids, and you know, there could be some type of interest, but I don't know. You know, I haven't kind of like, they kind of say no and I leave it at that, but they were kind of interested in the start and then kind of said no. So I don't know if that was something, or is there any other kind of idea of like maybe who could potentials look like, or just kind of like the going about it.
Yeah, okay.
I don't really know.
Okay. Well, I just want to say big ups to you for actually taking the plunge and doing it, because it's pretty hard for people who have been in the business for a long time, let alone someone who's been in the business for 5 minutes. So well done for going there, Michelle. Yeah, look, it's, and I think with team, you've really got to think about it as the same as a customer. So you're offering a service or you're offering something to that person. And the difference is, yes, they're going to get way more than a product, but there's so, I don't know why people are so afraid of it. I don't know why there is, you know, it seems so much harder for so many people, but it's exactly the same as you would for a customer. So I definitely, one of the things that is really contagious when you first start is excitement. And when your friends see that you're really excited and really passionate about something, they want to know all about it. And they're really excited for you and they want to know all about it too. So if you can be really excited about it, then that's going to help. I really believe that launches are amazing. So it's really good. By the way, everyone, Michelle's launching this time next week. So she'll be launching on our event next week, which is exciting. And so just, and again, authenticity is the best thing, honey. You just want to be authentic. So so if you've got a list of friends that you have thought about, and it might just be, I would just stick with maybe 3 to 5 people, because you also want to invite some of them to your launch, right? So I would just, in fact, you could even just invite them to your launch. But generally what we do when we first invite people, when you first start the business, is you just send them a message and say, hey, I'm so excited. I've started an online business and I'm just absolutely loving it. And I thought this could be something that you could be really interested in because of whatever reason you believe that they would be interested. Look, it's okay if it's not for you, but it would be really great to have your support. But I really think that at this stage where you're at, I really think just let's focus on inviting them to your launch and use, you know, that verbiage, make it really authentic to you that I sent you, and invite them all along to your launch. And then they can see your passion, they can see your excitement when you're talking. And then, yeah, that's probably not very helpful. I really think the other thing that's important is having conversations. So when you're having conversations with people, you're looking for that pain. So have you started having conversations with people? Yeah. And have you had the conversations where they've brought up that they don't like their job or they want more income? Where have you gone, Michelle? You've disappeared. Okay, Kieran, when is a good time frame to circle back with someone if you have been shut down, read products after sharing your story in person? So how many times have you followed up, honey?
Oh, it's in-person stuff. It's basically friends. It's been a couple. Last time I talked about this is the one who's on the rescue remedy stuff.
Yep.
And we talked prices, and she said she's just going to stay with that. So.
Okay. Well, then I would just, so she's not on Facebook. You've actually spoken to them face to face.
Well, most of my people are face to face or on the phone.
Yeah.
They're not generation talk on the phone, not message.
Yeah, that's a bit tricky when you're not on social media and you can't just kind of send them a message and see how they are, or, you know.
Oh, no, she's on Messenger. We do all that, but anytime we've talked about the product, it's been, or the product has been in person.
Okay, and you've told her about it and she said that she's not interested, or she just hasn't come back to you?
Oh, no, she just said, she's come back to me and said, I'm going to stick with that nutrient rescue stuff that you can buy, whatever. And that she went to see the doctor, and the doctor's come back and said there's nothing wrong with you. She's just really exhausted and tired and all the rest of it.
And is she noticing some benefits from the nutrient rescue?
Hell no. That's why she went to the doctor. She goes,
Okay.
it's not doing anything for me.
Well, do you know what you could do if you can?
Yeah.
Is I'd give her a month's worth of products.
Okay.
Right.
That's what I was thinking the other day. So we're on the same page.
Yeah. I mean, unless she's actually said to you, no, I'm not interested in your capsules, go away.
No.
Then I would respect that and go, that's okay. This is your choice. You don't want to push something on them. But if you're a friend and you know her really well and you really want to help her and you know she's not getting better on what she's doing, then just say, look, it's okay if you don't want to, but I would love to gift you a month's worth of these products. Are you open to having them? And if she says no, then respect that and let it go.
Okay. Yeah, no, this is somebody that I do the baking classes with and all the rest of it. So it's not a stranger, but it's just, yes, I make them. It's not about me, it's about them. But boy, am I hitting my head against the brick wall with some of these people.
Yeah. But, you know, there's a certain amount, and this is something else that Richard talked about tonight, is that you've got to be really respectful of people's decisions. You know, and Adam talks about it all the time, and I don't like it. And what he says is, he goes, well, if someone says to you, I don't have enough time to do this, and then he says, well, how much time do you think it's going to take? That's actually really disrespectful. So we want to be really careful with, you know, how far are we going to push this? We've got to actually respect someone's wishes when they say no. And a no doesn't mean a no right now, a no full stop. It just means a no right now. And their situation may change later. And so I think it's really important to kind of say to them, look, that's totally okay. I really respect that and understand that. That's, you know, I get where you're at. I would love to keep in touch with you just to see how you're going on this journey. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And
that's, I get the respect thing, and I do it. And I think it's finding that probably you're a bit more seasoned with working with people and stuff, but it's still, a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
With it. I get it. It's like Rachel. She's got the shake. She's had them for 3 months. She still hasn't taken the damn thing. She goes, I'm as useless as tits on a bull. I'm like, oh my God. What do you want me to do? Come and make a goddamn shake for you? Yep, if it gets around here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and that's the thing, we can lead a horse to water, but we can't make them drink. So, you know, we've got to respect that not everyone's ready at the time that we want them to be ready. And it doesn't mean that they're never going to be ready. It's just, it's divine timing, right? It's ready for them. As frustrating as it is, but we got to step away from that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Kieran,
sorry, Michelle.
Sorry, Kieran, do you mind if I ask this friend of yours who has the shakes but hasn't tried it yet. Did you give her a recipe?
She got the entire complete book, baby girl.
Okay. Okay, fair
She
enough.
I
Yeah.
gave her coconut milk. I've given everything else, put the shit in her fridge, and she still ain't tan it.
Yeah. But, you know, she's one that's been on the fence for a very long time, Kieran? She kept saying no to you for a long, long, long time before she finally said yes. So, you know, it's just something that she's going to take a while to come to. Maybe she's got to get to a really low point before she actually decides she wants to give it a go.
Oh, yeah. No, that's my girl. I've known her since she was 14.
Yeah.
I've got an ace up my sleeve because she's getting married this year in September. So we're going to work on that, whether she likes it or not.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, honey. Sorry, Michelle, we lost you there, honey. I don't know what happened. You're right.
Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah, I know. You've got really great Wi-Fi at your house, eh?
It's amazing. I know. It's day numbers unstable right now.
That's good. Well, let's work with that then. Sorry. Now, what did I ask you? I don't even remember what I asked you.
If I've spoken to people yet, I think it was. Right? Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. If you've reached out and started new conversations. So do you know what we mean when we say looking for pain? What their pain is?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
So what we do is we use what we call form. So form F is family, O is occupation, R is recreation, and M is motivation. So we kind of ask those kind of questions. So when we have conversations with people, we're asking, you know, like family is like, oh, how's your kids? How's things going with you know, how's your mum? Or, you know, and then, you know, occupation obviously is how is work, and recreation is, you know, whatever their interests are and how that's going for them. And motivation is usually their goals and things that they're saving for or that they're really wanting to do. Because what that does is that will bring up, if there's any pain there, it will bring up the pain. So for example, you know, if they're talking about their family and maybe it's, oh, I just wish I didn't have to go to work. I missed out on so much. There's a pain. If it's, you know, occupation and they say, oh, look, I'm getting laid off in my job and I don't know what to do, or, you know, I'm really looking for another job and I don't have enough income, what is another pain? You know, recreation is, I don't know, maybe it's that they don't have enough time to be able to do what they want because they feel like they're working all the time and they've got all these other things. But whatever it is that you're talking about and you're asking them about, you're looking for that pain as you're talking to them. And so it doesn't mean that as soon as you see the pain, you jump on them and go, oh, well, I'm actually working in an online business and this really is helping.
That's what I think I'm doing.
Yeah. So
For
you
one pain. Okay.
Yeah, I know. And that's totally normal. It's like, you know, we vomit all over them and it's totally normal. It's what we do when we first start. But the really important thing is to keep asking more questions around that pain. So for example, if they're saying, oh, you know, like I'm getting laid off from my job. And then you just say, oh, that must be awful. That must make you feel really insecure. So, you know, kind of bringing that all out for them and getting them to talk about it even more and more. So because a lot of people, when they first start talking about something, they're not actually in the pain. They're just talking about it because people are asking them. So they're always talking about it. So when you get into the feelings of it, you're actually bringing that pain to the forefront for them and they're feeling it even more. So that's why it's really cool to ask lots of really good questions around that. And then you'll get to a point organically where you'll go, well, you know what? I would so love to help you. I hate seeing you in so much pain. It's just awful. But, you know, I don't know. Have you ever thought about working online? I've just started and I'm absolutely loving it. It's really helping me, and share how it's helping you that relates to them. So for example, it might be, look, I really don't enjoy my job either. And I'm really wanting to step away from that. And I'm finding this is really working for me. So it's finding it's the right time. It's not jumping in on the first or second message, you know, it's building that relationship. And it might only take a day or two to bring the pain out. It might even take less than that. It might only take, you know, half an hour. But it's just, you know, and this is something that Linda talks a lot about. She talks about being a master asker. getting really good at asking really quality questions, really good quality questions. So is that helpful?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I should know this with my work. I ask lots of questions.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my friends, I'm like, ah, got it straight away. Yes. Here's,
well,
here's the answer.
Well, the difference is with your work, that, we don't know them, do we? And that's part of our job, is to find out more about them and their situation and what's going on. And so you've got to look at it in the same way. Whereas your friends, you know who they are, but often you know who they are, but you don't necessarily talk about their pain unless you actually sit down and have a coffee with them for a couple of hours or have lunch with them. You're not actually going to be talking. You don't talk about their pain, do you? Generally, it's only when you see them face to face.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. So hopefully
Thank
that is
you.
helpful. Welcome. Any other questions, guys? Loving all these questions. This is so cool. I'm actually hosting New Zealand training on Monday night for Adam, and I'm actually going to do something really similar. I'm just going to kind of get people to bring up their challenges, because otherwise I feel like I'm talking through a hole in my head, and I'm actually not very helpful. So I want to make sure that I'm really helpful for everybody and get right into the pain. I'll have more then. Like it, Kerry. Bring it on, honey. Bring it on. All right, guys. Love hanging out. It's been great. And really nice to see you tonight, Isha. I know you're at work, but I'm really impressed with how you're still on, girl. She's probably just got it in her pocket or something. Awesome. And thanks for tonight, Sarah. You did amazing, honey. Well done. Well done. That was awesome. Exciting. And hopefully we'll see you on next week to support Michelle.
So next week, are we doing the normal event, and then including Michelle in part of the event as her, how like Kat does, and